17-year-old Mira loved exploring the woods behind her family's house, but one day she stumbled upon something extraordinary. She had wandered deeper than usual when she found herself in a grove of ancient trees. These trees were unlike anything she had ever seen, their bark twisted and their branches stretching wide, creating a canopy that cast a soft, green glow over the ground. Mira noticed that the air here felt different, heavy and warm, like the grove was breathing. She placed her hand on the nearest tree trunk and felt a faint vibration. Startled, she pulled her hand back, but then curiosity got the better of her, and she pressed her ear to the bark. To her amazement, she heard soft whispers, like a gentle breeze rustling through words. Secrets, whispers, memories. These trees seemed to say, their voices ancient and layered with echoes of the past. Mira felt a tingle run through her, a feeling that she couldn't explain, but found comforting. As she ventured further, she saw roots sprawling like veins across the ground, pulsing faintly with an energy that felt alive. She stayed for hours, lost in the grove's gentle hum, until twilight settled in, painting the sky with shades of pink and gold. Reluctantly, Mira left, but she knew she had found something magical, something she couldn't tell anyone about just yet. That night, Mira dreamed of the grove, hearing the trees' voices calling her back. They whispered of memories hidden deep within the earth, secrets they had guarded for centuries. Little did she know, the grove was more than just a hidden wonder. It was a living memory, carrying the spirit of the earth itself, and soon it would need her help. The next morning, Mira woke with an uneasy feeling. She could still hear the whispers from her dreams urging her to return. Determined, she set out to the grove again, but as she neared the woods, she noticed something that made her heart sink. A group of men in bright vests and hard hats was marking the trees with neon paint. Large machines stood nearby, ready to tear into the forest. She overheard one of the men talking to another. This whole area is set to be cleared. The corporations bought the land, and in a week, the trees will be gone. Mira felt a wave of panic. The grove was in danger. Those trees weren't just ordinary trees. They held something special, a life force she had felt in her bones. She couldn't let them destroy it. That afternoon, Mira returned to the grove, her heart pounding with urgency. She knelt beside the largest trees and whispered, "They're coming to destroy you. What can I do?" To her shock, the tree seemed to answer, its whispers growing louder. She closed her eyes, focusing on the voices. Suddenly, a surge of warmth flooded her, and the ground beneath her seemed to pulse with energy. She felt the wind around her shift, the leaves brushing against her skin as if in reassurance. The trees communicated through images and feelings, showing Mira visions of animals, plants, and flowing rivers. Then, as if awakening an ancient power within her, they granted her the ability to understand the language of nature itself. She opened her eyes, and suddenly, the rustling trees, the bird songs, and even the babbling brook nearby all held meaning. Mira understood what she had to do. She was the grove's only hope, and now, with this newfound connection, she would be its protector. With her new ability to communicate with nature, Mira reached out to the creatures of the forest, hoping to gather allies. She approached the family of deer grazing nearby, her mind open to the natural rhythm of their thoughts. To her astonishment, she could sense their emotions, calm yet alert, curious about her presence. "We must protect the grove," she explained, her words mingling with images of the trees and the looming threat. The deer understood, and with a gentle nudge, they promised to warn the other creatures. Mira spent the next few days speaking to the animals, squirrels, foxes, and even birds flying overhead. She learned from the trees that each creature played a role in the ecosystem that kept the grove thriving. The animals listened and agreed to help, each in its own way. She felt the earth itself guiding her, its consciousness woven through every tree, every blade of grass, and every living being. One afternoon, as she was strategizing with a family of owls, she felt a powerful presence near the oldest tree. Kneeling before it, she placed her hand on the rough bark, and suddenly images flooded her mind. Visions of ancient lands, of towering forests and rushing rivers. She understood then that this grove wasn't just a place, it was a living memory of Earth's resilience and beauty. The grove gifted her with a sense of unity, of interconnectedness, revealing to her the delicate balance that sustained life. She felt Earth's ancient consciousness guiding her, a force older than humanity, fierce yet nurturing. Mira's resolve hardened. She couldn't allow this sacred place to be destroyed. With nature's voice now her ally, she began planning how to protect the grove, knowing the animals, plants, and even the elements will stand by her side. As the development project loomed closer, Mira rallied her allies. She reached out to the trees, plants, and animals, coordinating a plan to resist the destruction. With her connection to the Earth's consciousness, she sensed the anger and determination within the grove, a resolve to protect herself, just as she felt in her own heart. The squirrels and birds gathered seeds and nuts, planning to scatter them across the equipment, while the deer and other forest animals would create distractions to delay the workers. Even the streams and rivers seemed to cooperate, ready to overflow and make access to the grove difficult. On the day the workers arrived, Mira and her allies were ready. The first bulldozer trucked toward the grove, but as it neared, a sudden flood of birds swooped down, flapping wildly, pecking at the paint markers and distracting the workers. The deer dashed out from the underbrush, causing confusion and slowing the workers' progress. As the chaos unfolded, Mira stood by the largest tree, her hand pressed against it, feeling its strength flow into her. She reached out to the wind, whispering for it to grow stronger, and soon, gusts swept through the grove, making it nearly impossible for the workers to continue. The workers shouted in frustration, baffled by the sudden wildlife rebellion, but Mira remained calm, feeling Earth's consciousness guiding her actions. She had become the grove's voice, standing firm against the encroaching machines. By the end of the day, the workers retreated, confused and unsettled. Mira knew that this was only a temporary victory, but she felt emboldened. She would protect the grove as long as it took, no matter the cost. As the days passed, the corporation's efforts grew more intense. With more workers and heavier equipment, Mira knew this might be the final showdown. She gathered her animal allies one last time, asking them to join her in defending the grove. The trees, sensing her determination, granted her one final gift, the ability to channel Earth's raw energy. When the bulldozers arrived again, Mira stood in their path, her small figure defiant. She summoned the energy of the grove, feeling the strength of the trees, the resilience of the soil, and the wisdom of the ancient consciousness within her. The workers hesitated, unnerved by her presence and the way the animals gathered around her. Mira raised her arms, and the ground beneath them rumbled. Roots erupted from the earth, creating barriers around the grove, while the wind whispered through the trees with a fierce, protective force. One of the workers shouted for backup, but the others faltered, unwilling to challenge what felt like a force of nature. Mira's voice carried across the grove, resonating with the power of Earth itself. This grove is sacred. It holds the memories of the Earth. Leave now, and you'll be safe. One by one, the workers retreated, finally overwhelmed by the sight before them. The corporation decided the land wasn't worth the trouble, abandoning the project entirely. When the grove was safe once more, Mira knelt before the oldest tree, her heart full of gratitude. She knew her life had been changed forever. Earth had chosen her as its guardian, and she would always listen to its whispers, ready to protect its secrets. And so, the grove remained, a living testament to the power of nature and the strength of those willing to listen.